Y'all know the name.
What's crack-lacking, boys and girls? I am Matinho, and welcome back to some more Project Cars with video number 4 of the limited edition car pack. So, here it is, the McLaren F1. And we're at Silverstone, home of racing, you know, the home of racing, Silverstone. So we're going to take this thing around here a couple of times because it's quite a long lap, especially in this thing, because it's, don't get me wrong, it's a nice car, but it's a bloody handful and it's just got endless oversteer. Now, I know it's not going to be helped because I've got cold tyres on, but the other thing about this car, what makes it particularly weird is, one, it was it was at the time the fastest production car ever made, and also you're seated centrally. That means you got a seat either side of you. So if you're a billionaire and you've got one of these and you happen to have two girlfriends who are both okay with each other and maybe indulging a bit of the lady on lady stuff, now this is the car for you. I suppose. Okay, so, but right now I'm all alone in this thing, and we're going to take it for a little ride. Well, let's just listen to that noise first. Now, I believe this has got a V. Is it a V? I think I'm not sure. I think it's a V10. It could be a V12, but I'm not sure. I really should look up this information before spouting off. But either way, it's an animal. Top speed 242 miles an hour, and I'm sure a few of you may have seen that Top Gear special where Hammond was racing this against the Bugatti Veyron in Dubai or Bahrain, in the Far East, let's say. Let's just say that, in the Far East. And this thing, it gave the Bugatti a fair old run for its money, especially in the acceleration stakes. So it's still not a slouch considering it's been around since, I think it was 92, was it? Was it 92? In production run from 92 to 98, so. And I know Mr. Bean binned one not too long ago, and McLaren were kind enough to help him rebuild it with refabricated original-ish parts. But when you consider the amount of, well, it locks the brakes very easily and it's quite understeery. I'm not surprised Mr. Bean binned it. This is not like his Minute. I imagine his Mini handles like a go-kart, but this one is a bit more of a handful. So, again, I don't know if I know it doesn't have any of the traction control hickory-dickory stuff or any of the fancy electronic aids. This is like a pure driving machine. So, there we go. We're out of it. Yeah, so more of a pure driving machine. But it is very unruly and very difficult. You've got to be, again, like the GT40 I mentioned earlier, you've got to be very delicate with your inputs, especially the braking and the steering. Because this thing is, as soon as it gets on a bit of unlevel ground, and it's going to start rebelling against you, and soon it'll overthrow you. But you know, when I first drove it, I hated it, and yeah, my stance has softened a little bit. Once you kind of, because that's a lot of things. When you get into a new car on this game, and you've been driving something like, say, I don't know, the Sauber C9 or the AMG DTM Mercedes that was in the previous episodes, or I don't know, an MP1 car or an F1 car, or even like say a Pagani Zonda or something like that. You get into this thing, and it's just a big step away. It's a lot more difficult to drive, and it's a real driving machine. You gotta have some skill to get the best out of this thing, because it is ready to snatch your face off as soon as you start doing things it doesn't like. Ooh, they're braking while turning. That's a bad idea, Matt. You come through here, and so, but it's not bad once you get used to it. Once you've kind of started, you know, getting a handle on what you can and can't do with it. Again, like with any car, you're going to start putting in better times. But this thing has got a lot steeper of a learning curve, I think, than the other ones, like the Sauber C9 and the MG Mercedes. You can get in those pretty much straight away, you know. But there we go. Even now, now the tyres are warmed up because it was stone cold when I started. I found almost a second, but again, it's still it's got such a small window where you can push it in terms of the braking, you know, like the Sauber's got such a very long window of braking where you can still brake and get away with it somewhat, but this one is very small, and the second you start going out of that window, this is what happens. You go wide, because it's very understeery. Even at the best of times it's understeery. The front end's not brilliant. Imagine, I haven't messed around with any of the setup of the cars, you know, at least not this one. With the other ones, I don't see the point. You know, I want to keep them kind of true to how they were, I suppose, how they were intended to be. But you could do it. I think because you do get a lot of body roll. There's a hint of body roll, and Jesus, I'm still fucking a second up. Wow, it's impressive. See, even when I'm running wide in corners and God knows what else, I'm still up on the time boards. You can see how I'm just having to saw at the wheel to get this to go where I want it to go, and pump the brakes, as you might hear. Getting through here, you're very careful. But wide. Well, 1:16.8, so not bad, but. Yeah, that's the McLaren F1, I think. Very, very tough car to drive. The hardest car of the lot to drive, I think. This is more difficult than the GT40. I think because it has a lot more power, and again, you can't really compare them, I suppose. But you know, these are the limited edition cars, so I'm just going to compare them to the other limited edition cars. But again, like, I think I've got this set to mode 2 on my steering wheel in terms of the rotation angle, which I think is about I'm not sure what the rotation angle is. Let me just try, because we're going to go probably full lock around here. So I think it's about 270 degrees, I think it is, before I get to the end of it, and still I'm having to go full 270 degrees to get it around some of these corners. But yes, McLaren F1. It'll murder you if you start doing things it doesn't like. Right, well, we'll finish this lap out and we'll finish out the episode. So I don't think I should start my outro now because I've got another minute at least. But what the hell, we'll do it. Thank everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please go ahead and hit that like button. Like I'm hitting the brake pedal. Subscribe for more daily insane content. Definitely more Project Cars, more Battlefield, and also I think I mentioned it, but definitely I'm going to try and do The Witcher. I'm going to try and do it. It's a long game. It'll probably take me, if I did a half-hour episode, which is probably the limit I can do in order to, you know, in terms of time for rendering and editing and so on. Half hour. It's probably going to take me maybe a year to complete, but. And that's not even counting the DLC that's coming out, which is another 75 hours I've heard. But yeah, if you want to see all that, hit that like button, subscribe, hit me up on Twitter, say hello. So yeah, you can't drive for shit, Martino. Oh, fuck it, let's just go whole hog and just fucking rig it round. Oh, no, that was the wrong button. I'm looking for the handbrake. Alright, boys and girls. Right then, well, again, thank you for watching and peace. Sausage card. Whee! I like sausages. Whoa, sausages. That was a weird voice. But yeah, once you've kind of got your in, you know what the thing is going to do and what you can do with it and what you can't, then you can start really licking those times in, and